Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this webinar. My name is Mahmoud Ahmad, and I work as Nordic BDM on cybersecurity solutions and services in TD SYNNEX Nordics. Today, we will present on how to deliver Microsoft managed security services together with us in TD SYNNEX and our Microsoft recognized partner Chorus. Before starting, I want to let you know that this session is going to be recorded. A copy of the recording and the slides we are going through will be shared with every one of you. And the recordings will also be shared on our YouTube channel, TD SYNNEX Nordics YouTube channel, and might be used from Chorus as well. Now over to you, Rafaela, at Chorus.
Yeah, good morning all. My name is Raffaella Palladino Hansen, and I work as Partner Development Executive for Chorus, both for the Nordics and for Italy. See you later because Mahmoud will start with this presentation.
Thank you. Next slide, please. So TD SYNNEX has 4 S, which we deliver on the added value to our partners. The solutions part covers a solution factory and a team of skilled development engineers or solution architects or center of excellence team give you the right solutions so you can execute very fast in the market. Time is very, very interested here. We have market vetted, validated, and repeatable solutions that bridge our 4 key technologies, which is cloud, data, IoT, and security. And that's what we offer click-to-run solutions. Then we have the skilling part, where we have a TD SYNNEX Academy, where we can provide you actually courses both online and also locally to grow your competence. Moving forward to the third part, which is do it for me services. There we have both managed services like this one today, which we are actually giving you a presentation on. We have professional services. And that these services are actually innovative and outcome-centric, meaning that we can tailor it to your address specific business outcomes and how you want them to be. We can do it together with complex solutions, or we can make it very easy to do repeatable and just easy to deploy. The last part, which is support, is that we also help you with support if you have tier 3, tier 2 support or tier 1 support you want to actually help with, then we can help you with that, because then it can optimize resource, reduce costs, and give you new business opportunities. Next slide, please. So today's agenda is kind of on cybersecurity, and for you to know what is difference between EDR, MDR, XDR, and MXDR. So basically, EDR is about actually endpoints detection and response, and focused around endpoints such as desktops, laptops, servers, and mobile devices. Traditional antivirus software and firewalls are no longer sufficient to combat sophisticated cyber threats. That's actually a very valid argument. And EDR tools therefore focus on continuously monitoring endpoint activities, collecting data and processes, file network connections, and user behaviors. So they typically also uses advanced analytics and machine learning to identify suspicious activities and potential threats. That's around EDR. If you move forward with the MDR part, which is around managed detection and response, we see that there is a response to the growing complexity of cyber threats. And the shortage of the skilled cybersecurity personnel provides the use or the need for MDR services, which actually is around proactive monitoring, threat detection, and incident response capabilities. And MDR services that goes beyond traditional EDR solutions. Moving forward to the XDR part, which is extended detection and response, that's a kind of new approach to threat detection, new, but let's say it has just been there for 3 to 5 years, that provides holistic protection against cyber attacks, unauthorized access, and misuse. And moreover, it is like a platform, XDR, which can provide more comprehensive visibility into threats and enable faster detection and response the entire cyber kill chain. Last but not least, managed extended detection and response. That is a broader set of security technologies, including data sources, those covered also by XDR. But what MXDR provides is that it is a fully managed security services that encompasses endpoint security, network security, cloud security, email security, and other relevant domains. Next slide, please. So today, since we have with us our recognized Microsoft MISA partner, Chorus, and that is the topic today around managed security services. Their SOC is based in UK, and the question naturally could then raise, where is my data and what gets processed outside of my region? So as you see, that you have a customer Azure tenant with subscription and data, and that could be in any Azure data center region, but for the Nordics, it will be in their local country, right, or in the EU. So that means basically that customer subscription and other critical information remains securely stored within the Nordics. This approach aligns with compliance and industry regulations, ensuring data sovereignty and privacy. And if we see what Chorus does, right? So they have a Microsoft Sentinel instance as a service where Chorus only handles service metadata from the UK, which goes through Azure Lighthouse. And it's essential to underscore that no classified customer data is transferred to the UK. Instead, only service metadata is managed there. And therefore, the security and privacy on both locations is through safeguarding this sensitive information. So the clear separation ensures that customer data remains within the Nordic borders. And this distinction is crucial for maintaining compliance and protecting customer privacy. Next slide, please. As you know, I hope you know, or if you don't know, NIS2 or the Network Information Systems 2 Directive represents a significant milestone in EU cybersecurity legislation. It will take effect on 17th of October this year, and it covers 15 sectors and above 160,000 companies. But why is it important? Because it aims to enhance cybersecurity for critical infrastructure, and it requires you to help your customers to address risks such as human errors, system failures, malicious actors, natural disaster, and physical security of the systems that impact network and information security. So building trust compliance with NIS2 isn't just a checkbox exercise, it's a business opportunity. By aligning with these two principles, organizations can build trust, because that's what you're going to help your end customers with, and demonstrate the readiness to tackle the cyber threats which are actually around NIS2. I will come back to how TD SYNNEX can assist you with NIS2 mapping in the end, but there's some more around for which actually comes around, you know, people, processes, and tools. So for me right now, it's over to you, Rafaela. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I see we are around 50 people here, so I'm very happy. So this is our agenda of today. We are going to start by talking about the cybersecurity market opportunity, and then we will go through the differences between building your own internal security operations center and the partnership with us at Chorus. We will then explore our managed security services, so our SOC as a service, and we'll explain to you the reasons why you should choose Microsoft to secure your environment from cyber attacks. We will end by illustrate the advantages of a partnership with TD SYNNEX and Chorus, and of course with the space for you to ask questions. So I would like to start by talking about Chorus, who we are, and how we work with partners. So let's go to the next slide. So Chorus' journey started 24 years ago now, initially operating as a traditional MSP, but lately shifted into an MSSP over the last few years. So having been a traditional partner for over 20 years, give us the understanding and the knowledge on how partner works. And in other terms, we have the necessary know-how to approach and work with partners. Culture is hugely important to us at Chorus, and not just internally, but also with the partners and customers we work with. So partnerships and collaborative relationships are really paramount to us at Chorus. We don't want to simply be a service provider to customers. We want to work as an extension of their IT teams, as if they build their own SOC internally, without the various challenges that I'm going to talk about. So we strive to support in creating a long-term strategy, taking the way of the day-to-day security management off customer shoulders, and help drive continuous improvement or the security posture. We are very close to Microsoft and are one of the leading Microsoft partners, especially in the UK, with the wealth of accreditation to support this. Moreover, we are rapidly expanding all over Europe. We were part of the private previous group with Microsoft, attending the previous Sentinel around 5 years ago in 2019, and worked closely with Microsoft to verify our service throughout its development, ensuring not only that their best practices were met, but we also built an enterprise-level service for our customers, and this makes us one of the most mature Sentinel partners. We achieved a significant accomplishment 2 years ago when we became part of MISA, as Mahmoud told, Microsoft Intelligence Security Association. And this puts us among the top 300 security partners globally, which is only the 0.006% of all security partners. Of course, this gives us a lot of advantages. For example, talking about CoPilot, we were involved in the previews of CoPilot, but we can also access new features before they are released, and we can use also Microsoft's own threat intelligence. And all this, of course, helps us to improve our services, to create new rules, automation, and playbooks that keep us up to date with the evolving threat landscape. So last year, we were awarded the Microsoft Verified MXDR Solution Provider status. And this recognition reflects our high standard of service quality, of course, security, and customer satisfaction. But let's go to the next slide. So the market opportunity. What would be a presentation without some stats? So let's take a look at some numbers. It will only take an attacker 1 hour and 12 minutes to access personal data once a phishing link is clicked. Only 9.6% of ransomware incidents take place during the work day. Our analysts has always loved to say that hackers won't stop for Christmas. And unfortunately, for a lot of our customers, we have seen a huge amount of this. We've even heard stories of IT leaders flying back from holidays to deal with attacks prior to leveraging a CSOC. Attacks are most likely to occur between 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. Friday nights, which can be particularly damaging for IT teams because they are typically off for the weekend. And for instance, one of our clients, which is a global hospitality organization, experiences a constant increase in phishing attacks every Friday at 8 p.m. Cybersecurity has rapidly become a top priority for organizations, especially with increased pressure from regulatory frameworks like DORA, which is an EU regulation regarding the financial sector, and NIS2. So Gartner predicts that 60% of organizations will adopt MDR services by 2025. But now let's see how a cyber criminal can compromise your account. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah, I love this slide. So here we are going to talk about attackers and what attackers are doing. So from the left to the right, we have the 4 phases of the attacker cycle: prepare, enter, traverse, and execute. On the left, we have our threat actor who is just looking for a payoff. And we can have a number of different missions depending on what they're seeking. Their specific mission can vary depending on the type of threat we are facing. If we are dealing with the cyber criminal, their main goal, of course, is profit. This could take the form of a ransomware attack or theft of credentials for sales. It could also involve some sort of extortion. So we may encounter highly sophisticated threat actors aiming, for example, to steal intellectual property or data from your company. Sometimes activists may aim to simply destroy your data without any reason. We also see ransomware actors who often destroy your backups before launching their attack and encrypting all your files, making recovery much, much more difficult. There are also email attacks where the ultimate goal is to encrypt everything. They might use your resources to mine cryptocurrency, or if you're in cloud, they might deploy new virtual machines to mine cryptocurrency at your expenses. But regardless of their mission, they generally follow the same steps. They search for stolen credentials, or perhaps for breached or leaked credentials belonging to a user in your organization. They might resort to phishing emails and might conduct targeted spear phishing attacks using something related to your organization to make their phishing attack more convincing. Emotional lures are known to be more effective, so they might use a phishing scheme like changes to employee benefits or expensive, which are likely to produce an emotional response from your users, making them more vulnerable and, of course, likely to click. So they might compromise a device, compromise account, look laterally to see what they can find, and try to gain domain dominance of some privileged account that they can leverage to fulfill the mission. So we need to detection across the entire process. So we need to understand the whole picture and be able to detect attacks at any point. Alongside this, we need technical control in place to spot when users fall victims of these attacks, but we also need to train users to be aware of social engineering attacks. Most of these attacks will involve some form of human trickery at some point, so it's crucial that we educate our users about the techniques attackers are likely to utilize. But let's move to the next slide where we'll discuss about defense in depth and zero trust. So at Chorus, we work with the concept on defense in depth and, of course, with zero trust architecture. Let's start by analyzing the defense in depth concept, which I have often heard to be compared to an onion from Microsoft, where each layer represents a different layer of security. So the concept of defense in depth employs a multi-layer security approach, as opposed to a protective boundary, the classical perimeter security, which is not in use anymore. So this strategy deploys multiple defensive mechanisms to delay and, of course, to stop an attack's progression. And each layer is designed to provide protection, ensuring if one layer is compromised, the next layer will prevent the attacks from gathering unauthorized access to data, of course. So here are some examples of the different layers this approach can cover. So, of course, externally, you have the physical security. That is the first security to put in place. What does it mean? This means that to give access to data center only to people who are authorized. Then we have the identity and access management security controls. So these controls, such multi-factor authenticator and conditional-based access, are used to regulate access to infrastructure and to manage changes. Then we have a perimeter security. This includes protection of your corporate network, like protection against DDoS attacks, for example, that are big attacks that can compromise everything. Then we have network security. This includes measures like network segmentation, of course, to restrict access. And then we have compute layer security. This refers to compute resources as virtual machines, and you might secure them by closing certain ports, for example. And then we have an application layer security, and at the end, in the center, your data that we secure with data encryption. But let's go to the next slide to talk about the zero trust approach. So the concept of defense in depth and zero trust comes from the idea that a perimeter security around your servers and physical infrastructure is obsolete and not effective anymore. The bring your own device concept and the concept of hybrid or remote work have completely revolutionized the idea of isolation at the base of perimeter security. And all the security companies have started to adopt the zero trust architecture. But what does zero trust mean? So a zero trust model is based on the concept of trust no one, verify everything. So a zero trust architecture is based on three main concepts: verify explicitly, use last privilege access, and assume breach. Verify explicitly refers to the authentication and authentication process, and this must be based on user identities, location, devices, and workflows to see if there are anomalies in behavior, for example. Then I can say security is very important, and not everybody needs to have an admin role in the company. So less privilege ensures a better cyber resilience. So use least privilege means to limit user access with just-in-time and just-enough access policies based on risks and data protection. And this applies to all identity that can be users, devices, services, but even applications. Assume breach mentally means assuming that a breach will occur. And we use segmentation as a preventive approach. So this way, the access will be segmented by network, users, devices, and application. And it means also to use data encryption and analytics to monitor activities. So in this slide, you can see all the Microsoft security tools. On the left side, we have the identity and access management part with Entra and Intune. On the right, we have the security, the data security, privacy, and compliance with Purview and Priva. And in the middle, you have application security and SecOps with Defender and Sentinel. As you can see, Microsoft Security CoPilot covers all these pillars and much more. But let's go to the next slide. So MDR and MXDR has been, Mahmoud has already spoken about it, and NIST do the same. So let's proceed about the building versus partners. So we know that MDR, MXDR is the best way to protect your business. But one of the key questions is, how do you effectively manage and control these services and technologies? Do you build your own internal SOC, or do you outsource to an expert partner who can manage the heavy lifting for you? So naturally, we would recommend to partner, but there are a number of reasons for this. Building an internal SOC involves various difficulties, which we have encountered in our own experience of building our own CSOC, but also when we help other customers to build their own SOC. First of all, the human factor, people. Recruiting qualified staff is a big challenge, as there is a shortage of cyber skills in the market, especially for those who have expertise in specific technologies, like in Microsoft technologies. Moreover, retaining and developing the staff is also very important, as they need to keep up with the changes and innovation in the technologies. This means investing in training, certifications, exams, and so on, which can be very expensive. However, this is essential to maintain a high level of staff satisfaction and loyalty. Another aspect to consider is that an attacker can strike at any time, regardless of your IT or cyber team working hours. Therefore, having a 24/7 protection is crucial for a successful CSOC, and this requires having enough staff to cover different shifts. Then we have a retention problem. There is a high risk of losing staff to competitors, so a company needs to focus on culture and benefits. Working at an MSSP can offer more diverse skills and experience than working in-house. Let's go to the next slide. So besides the staff, the processes are also vital for the SOC performance. Automation is a key factor in responding quickly and effectively, while avoiding, of course, alert fatigue among the analysts. It takes time to build a mature service. We can say around 3 years. As engineers, we need to create automated playbooks to analysts to follow in specific scenarios, and as well as fine-tuning detection and response rules to identify threats and enable analysts to make the best decision. Automation, or at least the custom rules developed, are a key differentiator between providers, because some rely on high automation to reduce the need of analysts, which has its own drawbacks, while others use more automation to ensure analysts are more efficient and have more information available to make informed judgments. One element in addition to processes is setting up appropriate legal contract and insurances. And this can be time-consuming and often brings with it costs and complexity alongside. So lastly, one of the most important aspects of a CSOC is the technology. Organizations need to ensure not only that the foundational tooling is there, CM, SOAR, XDR, EDR, threat intelligence, and IT service management integration, but really take into account the best technology available for the market. At Chorus, we leverage our customer existing Microsoft licenses and tooling to provide a 24/7 proactive and protective service wrapped around them. So leveraging Microsoft Sentinel as our CM SOAR, providing us a single pane of glass view for us to identify and remediate threats, having a centralized view of activities, and this ensures faster response time, greater productivity, easier collaboration, but also providing advanced threat intelligence and much more benefits. So we use the leading Microsoft Defender tools as XDR and EDR, and this ensures we can maximize our customer licensing investment, whether it's business premium, E3 or E5. Chorus has a wealth of cyber threat intelligence feeds for Microsoft on expert team, government-led data, and a number of paid-for feeds. We took a big step last year and invested into ServiceNow to ensure we could provide an enterprise-level service to all customers, regardless of their scale. We're often able to integrate with our customers on IT service management platforms to provide transparency into the alerts as they are raised and closed by our CSOC, of course. What I would like to add is that we protect also your environment if you are in need of a security solution in place. But let's go to the next slide. Microsoft Managed Security Services. So let's go to the next slide to talk about why partners partner with TD SYNNEX and Chorus. So first of all, new annuity revenue stream. You can drive new recurring revenue, of course. Capitalize on the market opportunity because customer wants this. So immediately go to market with an advanced managed security service. Some of the best industry stats, MISA member, MXDR verified. Add value to your customer by protecting your customers and increasing customer loyalty and retention. Sales and licensing opportunity by supporting Microsoft 365 upsell and increasing, of course, the Azure consumption revenue through Sentinel. Then benefits for your Microsoft partnerships such as designation and incentives. But let's go to the next slide. So this is an overview of our services. We use Microsoft licenses to deliver 24/7 service that is proactive and preventive for your technology 365 days per year. Our service is fully UK-based and cover a wide range of complex needs. We have three main offerings that differ only in the scope of coverage. So we have MDR endpoint, MXDR advanced, and MXDR premium. MDR endpoints protect only client endpoints, which most breaches occur. So it is not a basic service because it includes our custom automation. It uses Defender for Endpoint Plan 2, which has more features than Plan 1 and enables advanced threat hunting, vulnerability management, and automated investigation and response. And these allow us to deploy our best automation and playbooks. Then we have MXDR. So this maximizes your investment in the E5 Microsoft security stack and uses it fully. It allows us to create custom rules and extend threat hunting. And we deliver two types of MXDR services at Chorus, MXDR Advanced and MXDR Premium. So MXDR Advanced covers cloud services, identity, network, email, infrastructure, data, and application using Microsoft security tooling. So here we are into the Microsoft stack. MXDR Premium can ingest any data source, such as third-party tools, firewalls, or on-premises servers for a total security coverage. So we understand that data sovereignty is a great concern to any customer or business. And the beauty of this, as Mamo told, is that we leverage your own Sentinel instance within your Azure tenancy and use Azure Lighthouse to look into it. So this means we take no data outside your tenancy, and the only data pulled is reporting metrics. Let's proceed to the next slide. Yeah, so to help you to compare the different options, we have provided a detailed table on the right. Don't worry, because you will have our slides after the meeting, so you will have all these details. So the main factor to consider is the coverage level, except for the MXDR offering that has custom rules. Our onboarding process is very, very streamlined and easy. You just need to grant access to us and let us do a quick technical audit of your configuration if you already have Defender deployed. All our services and app registration for automation are certified on the Azure Marketplace. So this is not only a one-time service. We can work with you to create custom security roadmaps. We can help you to get certifications such as ISO 27001 and so on. So our automation is a huge competitive advantage. With our rules, we close 50% of incidents by automation. We don't use automation to replace analysts, but we make them more effective and reduce alert fatigue, as I told before. So with our advanced rules and playbook, our CSOC is very responsive. So incidents are assigned to an analyst in less than 5 minutes and closed in less than 20, when other SOC providers use between 30 minutes and 1 hour to close the same incident. So customers can choose how involved they want to be. They will have access to both the Sentinel and the Defender portals, so they can review alerts and SLA performance, or leave it to us and wait for our service governance reports. So we value transparency and security, and we provide several reports to support that, including a weekly Sentinel billing report. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so the diagram shows the role and responsibility of the customer to the right, the partner in the middle, and Chorus to the left in delivering the SOC service. Chorus is the capability unit that provides proactive security and incident management. Incident management is the process of detecting, investigating, and responding to alerts. We use automation and analyst triage to take action. Our goal is to contain the threat, not just only to notify you. So we are not an alert factory. When an alert is raised, it is automatically investigated. If it can be resolved by automation, it is closed directly. If it requires human intervention, it is escalated to an analyst. The analyst receives the alert and the relevant information and decides what response action to take. The response action can be to isolate, quarantine, or completely eradicate the threat. The analyst selects the playbooks and execute the action and closes the incident. And if the analyst cannot resolve the incident for any reasons, there are escalation paths to follow and to involve the partners and customers. So, for example, if an incident occurs during overnight, but the remediation is done by partners, so such as rebooting a server. So what we do is containing the threat overnight and contact the partner. We will explain what happened, what we did, and what we need to be done next. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so why using Microsoft Security? First, because Microsoft had invested $20 billion around 4 years ago to be spent in the arc of 5 years. And this has made Microsoft one of the most valuable security vendors, both for Gartner and for Forrester. I don't know how familiar you are with Gartner Magic Quadrant and Forrester Waves report, but Microsoft Security Solution has been named 9 times by Forrester and a few times in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. And these are trustful sources. So this means that Microsoft Security has reached a very mature level. Taking a look at this slide, you can see other reasons that makes Microsoft Security your best choice. So already being used. Of course, most organizations are already using Microsoft products such as Microsoft 365, which means they can easily integrate Microsoft Security solution with their existing infrastructure and workflows. Advanced telemetry. Microsoft collects and analyzes 65 trillion security signals every day, giving them unparalleled visibility and insight in the threat landscape, continually advancing. Microsoft invests heavily in security and development, constantly innovating and improving their security offering to keep up with the evolving threat landscape and customer needs. Rapid threat detection. Microsoft's integrated security stack allowed for rapid automation and detection of threats, reducing the time and resources needed to respond and remediate them. Best customer value. Of course, by choosing Microsoft Security, you can maximize the value of your Microsoft licensing and use what you're already paying for. Save costs. Microsoft Security can help you to reduce your third-party costs by removing the need of other tools that may overlap or even conflict with Microsoft solutions. And since Microsoft delivers a comprehensive security solution, you don't need to use other tooling. So these are just some of the reasons why Microsoft Security is the best option for you. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so I've added this slide because I'm sure there's a lot of curiosity about Security CoPilot and how this generative AI tool can help in the SOC analyst journey. So it's important to note that CoPilot is still in preview. We are glad to be among the partners who have had early access to this previews, and it will be available on market on April 1st. So we are very, very close to this date and very excited about it. Security CoPilot is a generative AI-powered security tool based on large language models, so it can effectively communicate to the SOC analyst what is happening in natural language and smooth the difficulties of the security analysis life cycle, especially in situations like incident response, threat hunting, intelligence gathering, and posture management. Just a brief digression to make you understand how it can work. So we know that to use Sentinel, the analysts need to learn a language called KQL, a custom query language. So if you want to create a more complex KQL, now with Security CoPilot, you can use natural language. Of course, you need to understand how to pose those questions. It's about prompt engineering, but this will work. And this way you can focus on how I do more automation, focusing on how to automate response. And CoPilot honestly can help also in this. So using CoPilot for security makes you not only much faster, but also much more accurate. Security CoPilot is designed to integrate with all Microsoft Security portfolio, as I showed you before. So with Microsoft Defender XDR, Sentinel, Intune, Preview, Priva, and Entra ID, formerly Azure Active Directory. Additionally, it also supports integration with third-party services, such as ServiceNow, for example. So to know more about AI and Security CoPilot capabilities, you can sign up to our webinar with Mark Jones, who is our head of cybersecurity. And I will provide you the QR code for the registration in a minute at the end of the presentation. But let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so we are very, very proud. I don't know if you see us, second line. We are very proud to say that Chorus is one of the managed security service provider being part of the Microsoft CoPilot for Security partner ecosystem. Let's go to the next slide. So yeah, we at Chorus, together with TDC Next, have created a series of webinars to keep you up to date to all the news and initiative we are running in Europe. And so feel free to scan these codes to register to our next events. You will receive them also via mail with our presentation. And I recommend you to follow us because we are always up to date about new trends, new cyber threat techniques, and law governance. So we hope to see you there. And now I pass the word again to Mahmoud and TDC Next.
Thank you, Rafaela. As I see that time is running out very soon, I will try to wrap it up very shortly. This is our model partner onboarding process, which we have where we have ensured that you as a partner are followed up in the right stages. These stages are introduction, engage, and enablement, launch, partner engagement. So I won't read the different stages. You will be shared the presentation afterwards, and if you have any questions or you want to actually get engaged, then you can just reach out to us. Next slide, please. So this is the last part, which we actually, from my side, which I wanted to highlight, because TD SYNNEX can help you with some Microsoft security professional services. That's why we are here today with our Microsoft MISA partner, Chorus, which actually has a SOC as a service, security operations service as a service. Beside that, we can help you with CSAT, which is a cybersecurity assessment tool where you get to know about risk identification, security post-revelation, vulnerability management, compliance assurance, and decision support. So you can actually do a kind of status quo mapping on the end customer side, and you know where to start. And then the last part around NIS2, which is actually how also TD SYNNEX can work with you around the mapping, because it's more around the ISO standards, which Rafaela mentioned, around ISO 27001 and a 27002 mapping tool. And remember that it isn't just about compliance, it's an opportunity to strengthen security, your security position, and foster trust, because this is a legislation which will be actually embedded into from the European Union directive, which you also as a partner have to follow. So from my side at TD SYNNEX, that's all. Very happy to have you here. If there are any questions, please raise them now or come back to us afterwards. I see maybe already there might be a question. So.
Yes, thank you, Mehmet. There is a question. It was a specific one. Could this service be bought to cover only a subset of users in a tenant, such as municipality, excluding students, for example, which I've gone back just to say, yes, we can offer flexibility, but it'd be good to discuss the specific requirements. If you just get in touch, we'll be happy to discuss that opportunity. I think with time, if there's any other questions, please feel free to pop them in, but I think we might have to wrap up just for time. Obviously, reach out to Rafaela.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something. So what we will do after this meeting is sending to you, of course, the registration, but also a form in which you can decide if you want to partner with us or if you want to book a demo with our engineers and all these kind of things. So we will get in touch and soon after the webinar.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for attending. Thank you. Have a nice day, you all.
Bye.
Bye.